Hey, I'm Abby, and welcome to Prereqs. Well, have you figured out what you want to do with your life yet? Have you ever wanted to do this? But with your own house. Today we're going to go talk to Brian Thomas, who works with research here at WCU for smart home apartments, and see how interactive technology can change the way that you live. Has a mind of its own.
Our current smart homes are oriented towards health assistive technologies. We look at people with Alzheimer's, early onset dementia, mild cognitive impairment, and we're developing technologies that can be used to help prompt people if it detects they're having trouble with activities, or simple reminders if it notices that they forgot to eat lunch today. It may remind them, did you forget to eat, or did you go out to lunch and I just not catch that? I first got interested in working with interactive technology back when I took my class on microcontrollers, and we built some robots, very simple, but you could actually interact with them and they would respond. And that kind of opened the door to me to be invited to help the AI lab initially use a Serabot for one of their smart homes. Some of our current projects involve a smartphone prompting system that currently we're just working on Android, but could very easily be also ported to the iPhone. A touchscreen based prompting system for interactive prompting, so basically ask a question with multiple choice answer and you give a response, allowing the home to actually be more informed about what's going on if it's unsure of something. We're working on some step-based prompting, so if within an activity there are steps, identifying if you're having trouble or missing a certain step that tends to be required to continue, like you forgot to put water in your pot before you boil oatmeal. That could be a safety hazard concern. So prompting individual steps is kind of the next step in just activity prompting. If you're having trouble with the activity, we can actually are now working on focusing on which particular step you're having trouble with and prompting you in a manner that is the least annoying. So people will be more accepting of the technology.
You can turn the stove off now.
Working with this technology over the years, I absolutely love dealing with the fact that we're so cutting edge. There are so few other places in the world where we're actually merging these kinds of technologies and working with psychology groups. And while that's such a plus, there's also challenges in that, which are really fun dealing with because you're having to figure out all sorts of software issues in the server, hardware issues. So even though I'm computer science, I'm also having to be aware of some of the electrical engineering information, like the limitations of some of the sensors, how far we can go with some of the cabling. So we do consulting with some electrical engineers over some of that stuff. If undergrads are interested in getting involved in this research, approach a lab and ask them about helping out. We're more than happy to bring in undergrads and get them helping us with some of these technologies, because we're all very busy and they generally have a little bit more time than grad students, so they can actually really benefit not only us, but by working with us, they get the benefit of the experience that they can put on their resume when looking for jobs or internships later. They can say they worked with a research group. And it's a lot easier than you think to get involved in this kind of research. Hard work does pay off, so give it your best shot.
So like Brian says, if you want to get involved, ask questions and you will go far in life. Well, that's all for class. I'm Abby, and I will see you next time.
Once upon a time, there was a man named Egbert Roscoe Murrow. I know you're thinking, who dat? Well, you may know him better as Edward R. Murrow. I'd change my name too if I was named Egbert. But the point is, this man did something great, something phenomenal, something downright entertaining. He started the news. All the news ever. Well, TV news, which is pretty darn good when you think about it. I bet you like your CNN and TMZ and TNA. Well, just remember that Murrow started it all. Murrow was a man of integrity, always telling the truth. Well, except for that time that he put down on his resume, like how old he was, where he went to school, and what prereqs he had under his belt. Product placement, prereqs. But he was always pushing the envelope for the betterment of mankind. He covered World War II for CBS live from the heart of London during the air raids. He didn't hide in a shelter. He was there on the rooftops, watching the bombs fall. We didn't say it was bright, just that he had great integrity as a journalist. But where did he learn this amazing moralistic approach to life? Washington State College. Hold up, college? That's right, when he went to school it was still a college, not a university. You think Pullman is a podunk little town now? Well, you should have seen it then. My God, if that wasn't the best institutionalized barn you ever set foot in to learn you a book. Anywho, his legacy lives on to this very day and is responsible for the Edward R. Murrow College of Communication, who proudly presents to you this program you are watching right now. Okay, so we have some bias. Moving on, after the Great War, during the Red Scare, when everyone feared communists more than the clap, and much like the clap, people were on the lookout for it everywhere. Well, there was this angry junior senator from Wisconsin named Joseph McCarthy, who was responsible for what has since been deemed McCarthyism, aka the 1950s witch hunt. Well, Murrow said no! He didn't believe people should live in fear of their government, and he called out McCarthy on national TV. This was when TV was new and calling people out on it was a big deal, unlike today where you do it twice a day on Fox News and The Daily Show. While this may have screwed over Murrow's career, the point is he took down McCarthy through factual evidence rather than hearsay, like McCarthy did. This firmly established a journalistic creed to always be fair and balanced and to never back down. Now I know what you're thinking. Why do I need to know this? Why? Because it's a prereq. I'm Conrad Roble, and I'll see you on the next study hall.
Hey guys, it's Danny, and welcome back to lunch. So today we're going to be making some quesadillas. And why quesadillas, you ask? Well, they're a good snack, a good meal, or if you always have bum friends coming over to eat your food, you can make them some quesadillas. So what we're going to be using for ingredients is some tortillas, some cheese, some peppers, and some already cooked chicken. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to prep our pan. So you're going to turn the oven on to about medium-low, and then we're going to throw some oil in the pan, because nobody likes to scrape charcoal off the bottom of a pan when you're done. And then we're going to throw our tortilla in there and get it all prepped and ready. Alright, so what we're going to put in our quesadilla today is some leftover chicken and some already cooked peppers. We're just going to throw that on in the tortilla and coat everything in some cheese. Alright, so we're going to throw a little handful of peppers within our quesadilla and throw a handful of chicken in there. Spread that out. And we're going to take some cheese and sprinkle that all over the top. You like to add a lot of cheese because cheese is just great. Alright, and what you're going to want to do next is fold the other half of the quesadilla over it, because the whole point of it is to get it all cooked all the way through, and then about halfway through cooking you're going to want to flip it. And if you don't fold it over, you can't flip it. Alright, so about halfway through you're going to want to flip it. Woo! Make sure it's nice and brown on the other side and cooked all the way through. You want all that cheese to be melted. And so if you're not really wanting the ingredients that we put in it, you could have a variety of different ingredients. Like you could add some tomatoes or anything, any kind of vegetables that you have left over just for chop. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, what if I don't have a stove in my apartment? The easy thing about this is you could also pop this in the microwave. It might not be as crispy, but it'll still be a good quesadilla. Alright, and the last step of your quesadilla is to cut it into a few sections, and then it's ready to eat. Oh my god, it's hot. Alright, and that's a simple quesadilla for you. And try not to burn yourself, and try not to burn down your place. Alright, and I'm Danny, and that was lunch.
Hi, I'm Kendra Kent, and once again, it's time for recess. So say you don't own a gaming system and you still want to blow up aliens and shoot big weapons. Well, today on Prereqs, we're going to be making mini weapons of mass destruction. Today our weapon of choice is going to be a mini crossbow. It's pretty simple to make. What you're going to need is a pencil, a pin, scissors, rubber band, and some tape, and duct tape is going to work best. All right, the first step for your crossbow is going to involve the pin. You're going to basically discombobulate it by taking out the inner ink tube and leaving it with the outer tube. Then you're going to cut off this outer tube part, and you're going to basically end up with the outer tube and the ink tube, which you'll both be using. The next part in building the crossbow is assembling the structure. You're going to take your pencil and pin. Basically, you're going to form a cross with the shorter pin part going across the top. Then you're going to take your duct tape and you're going to wind it around and try to get it as tight as possible. After you cut your rubber band in half, you're going to fasten it with duct tape onto each side of the pencil to make your sling. And there you have it. You have your crossbow and your projectile. And when you go to play with your friends, remember, safety first. Always have protection. Eye protection. And didn't we promise you aliens? Well, by golly, we're going to deliver. Look at our alien group over here. We got Dupus, Edward, Frankie, and Christopher, all ready to be popped in the face. Be prepared for death or at least a missing eye. Alien scum, beware. Now go out there and fight one for the Earth, or for America. I'm Kendra Kent, and that was Recess.
Hi, I'm Spencer, and this is Detention. Today, we're going to look at what you can do when you get a ticket. You know, that pink piece of paper that costs you hundreds of dollars? Yeah, that one. Well, today, we're going to tell you your options for fighting it in court. We sat down with Lieutenant Hanson, who let me try on his pretty little bracelets. And he is going to tell us what the options are. One of them is to remain silent.
A couple of different ways. If it's a minor traffic ticket or notice of infraction, like for running a red light, a speed violation, or a seatbelt violation, there's options listed for you on the back of your ticket. You can do what they call mitigate the ticket, which is go into court and say, yeah, I did it, but this is the reason why, and hope the judge reduces it a bit.
So, you can admit to it, and hopefully the judge is feeling generous. He may let you off with a knockdown price, or not, but you can only do it every few years. Second option.
You can contest the ticket, which is going in there saying, no, I didn't commit the infraction, and make the state prove their case.
Yeah, contest. I want evidence. I want proof. I want the truth. Just hope the officer that pulled you over doesn't come in. Or forgets who you are. Note the conditions you are in when you got pulled over. The more you know than the officer, the better you look.
Or you can just pay the infraction.
Just pay the infraction. Hey, you can't win them all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go do some court-ordered community service. If they didn't want people to take vending machines, why would they leave them in the open?
Blinky lights equal science.